Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers and sojourners of truth. 144, chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. This is a take two, or let's call it a part two. So you may see part one. I don't know which one. You may see this first, and then you may have to go back to part one. You all know I'm not techie, so we're just gonna keep it rolling instead of chopping and cutting and all of that. Ashe, so welcome aboard. As usual, I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth once again, in this beautiful cosmic divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from nowhere other than dimension number 5. Usually, as usual, bringing you the news to infuse, if you so choose to infuse with that light. And if not, you have a choice to refuse, but be prepared to be fried and on the grid. Right, and as I've mentioned, let me see if I can infuse some of the previous video for those who didn't get to see that other video. We are calibrating, and this is the information that I'm bringing forth, and remembering that we have this choice, right? You have a choice to do what you want to do, whether you infuse or not, as we're calibrating. So in calibrating, we may be feeling some ascension symptoms, and I believe that's where I left off at. So just to cover a little bit, we talked about the 6-6 portal, so happy 6-6 portal. Actually can get into it a little bit more, just celebrating the 6-6 portal, which is a part of the 369, having us inside of this 369 vortex from 2 days ago on the 3rd all the way to the 21st. We have 3 of those, is what I was mentioning, so I don't want to leave that out. There are 3, when I say of those, 3 of the 369 days, meaning 6, 3, and 9, the month of 6, the day being a 3, whether it's the 3rd day, the 12th, or the 21st, because the 2 and the 1 is a 3, and of course the year is a 9, and in between that we have 9 days in between them both, between the 3rd and the 12th, and the 12th and the 21st. So just to kind of throw those numbers out there so you see, and there's more. I'm going to talk some more about the numbers, especially today. Today is really highlighting the 3s, the 6, and the 9. Ashe, and we're speaking to life path number 9s. I may speak more about it in our live tomorrow, but there's a message for those who have a life path number 9. So if you have a life path number 9, whether it's in your name or in your birth date, but more particularly in your birthday, but either way, if you're life path 9, you may want to tune in, because there is a message for the life path number of 9. Before I go any further, if you haven't already, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare, leave a emoji if you have nothing to say, as usual, because we're lighting up on the grid, and we want to get those who are in remote places out there. As I say, twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. And we're here, we're not far, so we want to get them in close range, in close energetic proximity, because they may be feeling isolated in their spaces and places. But as we light up on the light grid, these help the algorithms, help to keep it going, and help them find their the lighthouses that we are, those of us who can share the light with them. Ashe, so let's keep lighting it up so we could keep gritting, and we're gritting. With that said, there's so much going on, like today, and if you count the day of today, the date of today, all the numbers add up to 3. Well, it adds up to 21, which is a 3-day, and I'm going to talk more about that. So to pick up where I left off from, let me talk about the energy symptoms, right? There's some ascension symptoms a lot of us may be feeling. So as I said, you may be feeling feeling like you just can't be bothered in some ways. I'm trying to find the words, because a lot of us are feeling all type of ways, and I get it. But it is to tune into the self, listen up to the soul and the self and what is needed. And there are some things that you can do, even if you do not sign up for the workshop, which we have coming up in 2 days, the Divine Chakra Moon Workshop, 7-day workshop where we're going to be working on each of these energy centers as well as the celestial bodies. I'll talk about that some more tomorrow as well. And look out for the flyer because I did post that. And you can also get that at a 5D corner near you. You can the calendar or the workshop. And that's at akilatextry@gmail.com. My email, of course, is a 5D corner store for this channel. So if you're interested, if you're ready to be a part of this, you're calibrating, you're releasing, it's definitely going to help if you're with any shadow work. It's going to help you release the densities off of your soul, because essentially that is what we're doing. We're removing more densities off of our soul. Ashe. So allow yourself to get in where you fit in and release yourself, free yourself, and calibrate. Right? So with that said, excuse me because if I'm all over the place, because I feel like there's so much energy, so much information in the energy field to capture and to share with you all. And I want to get what's really important, specifically the Ascension symptoms. And as I was saying, one of the things two reasons that we may have Ascension symptoms is, one, there may be some resistance. And I've, always said that there could be some resistance in the body. And so you're having these shutdowns, right? If there's any energy centers that are blocked, because they are doorways to the consciousness, they are doorways to the soul, and it's triggered with all these frequencies out here. As I was mentioning before, we have all these plus and minus creative receptive frequencies out here, and they affect the nervous system, right? The nervous system is how we feel things. So we're triggered. The nerves, the emotional, mental emotional capacity of our souls, which is usually triggered by our social emotional, environment. So with all these frequencies that are pouring in and kicking up, it's bringing up a lot of things in us. Hence why the workshop is really an important tool, because the full moon is what I call, it's transformative in the sense of it's transmutative. We do what we call a full moon transmutation. We even have a transmutation pyramid, because why? We are pyramids. We are the pyramids that are conduits of light. It's a reason why they built those pyramids. They're not just to look pretty for us to go visit. They are vessels of light. They are conduits of light, right? And they are built as a replica of us, right? The more that our ancient ones got to know themselves, this is why it's important to know yourself. The more they got to know themselves, the more they understood how to make a replica of themselves as the temples, right? So it's from great divine wisdoms, and there's more into that, but this is not about that, so I digress. Simply to give you an awareness and an understanding of you as a temple, and how we can be conduits of this light intentionally, right? And so as we're calibrating, we're shifting timelines, we're accessing our new timeline, we're in this cycle of manifestation. Ever since the new moon, we've been in this cycle of really emphasizing manifestation, because we had that palindrome vortex, which the whole theme was manifestation, right? And now we're in a 369 vortex, again, a type of magical, mystical manifestation of course, because of you understanding the dimensional portals of these numbers. These numbers are geometrical, divine geometrical connections into the essence of all that is, right? And that's the mystique of these numbers, right? It's not just a miracle manifestation, it is mystical, and it's because you understand the dimensions in time, as we are vessels in time. So we are aligning. It's all about where our souls align as vessels in time with the numbers of time, right? The dimensional numbers of time. They're not just numbers, they are dimensions. They are steps as we transit through our soul. So these symptoms that we're getting, let me go back into the symptoms. I want to talk about that because a lot of people are feeling it. They're going through it. So it's either because there is resistance, or it is because you're just calibrating the through your nervous system, and you may need more rest. You may need more. You may need more rest. You may need more water. You may need more meditation, more time alone, more isolation. This is a time to be really, really receptive, especially through the 6-6 portal, and allowing for, because 6 is the receptive completion. So allowing for this receptivity within this, communication season. It is about us receiving instructions. We're in the month of Jehudi. For those of you who have the 5D calendar, Jehudi is the messenger, right? Or the keeper of records, has the messages to give and receives the messages, shares the messages with you, so that you can rise in your Heru, right? For those of you who know the Kemetic story, it is through Jehudi giving the messages to Heru that he was able to defeat Set, which is kind of what we need to be doing right now. Set represents the underworld, which is that part of us that is collapsing, that is dying out, the old densities that we're getting rid of, the densities on our soul. So these movements through time is helping us to, let's say, filter out these densities, right? Especially if those of you who are using Metatron's cube as the filter, I see it as like a golden field of protection around my Merkaba ship, right? So you can see it how you see it, but it definitely helps to, for me, protect the transit of my Merkaba ship. And that's your field of your body of light, energy, and information. Light spirit, well, let me say light spirit body, which is what it stands for, Merkaba, light spirit body. And we're cleansing that out. There's a cleansing, there's a purge. So a part of this calibrating is allowing the cleansing to happen, to release, to let go, to surrender. And this is what the full moon is really good at, and utilizing it right now during this time will be very helpful, to help us calibrate, because we want to release the densities off our soul. So it's going to take going deep within each energy center, which is what we work on. That's why it's 7 days, because we start from the root going up to the crown, each day working on a energy center, aka a chakra, as well as connecting to the celestial bodies. And knowing your natal chart, it behooves me still how a lot of people don't know their natal chart. Not making anybody feel bad, but to not know your natal chart is a big piece of not knowing you. You are written in the stars, and the natal chart is helping you. It is your guide. It is your guide through this process. It is our guiding light, right? Your natal chart is lighting up on the scene right now, and it is very helpful when you know it. I heard in one of the something I was listening to, and that someone was saying, one of the astrologers was saying how some people just say, I'm not into astrology, or I don't believe in astrology, but it's like saying you don't believe in you. You don't believe in the existence of you, which is, and I agree. Well, she didn't say that, but that's what I was saying. It's like saying you don't believe in you. It's there. It exists, whether you believe in it or not. Your natal chart is there at your time of birth. Certain coordinates were all lined up in the stars, and you as a spirit chose these coordinates. So it's like saying, I don't want to get to know that part of me. And it is it's like saying I don't want the guidance. I don't want those angles of light. And it's not to convince anybody, but I say it so that we understand how helpful this tool is. Ashe. So this is a time where we use this within this workshop. We're using both. We're tapping into both. We're tapping into the energy centers as our doorways into our consciousness, and we're tapping into the celestial bodies. We're tapping into our natal chart, the cosmos in me, which, by the way, is an ebook that I do have. I need to start posting it on here. But it is very insightful in helping you to understand the cosmos are not just out there, but they are within. And when you understand the cosmos in me, you understand what you are here to be, right? How you're here to evolve through these frequencies. So That's with the calibrating and with the symptoms that you may see. And some of those symptoms, I don't know if I went through all of them, but it may be breaking out in the skin, because the skin is it's from the crown chakra. So there may be, it depends on how you're breaking out. Some of it may be a block if you're blocking something, or it may just be that you're calibrating those frequencies into your crown to go all the way through the core of your being, and there's some things that need to, excrete. um, so kind of look at that. Some of you may be having headaches. I know I've been waking up sometimes with some little slight headaches. It depends on how you're coming out of dream world, is how I sense it. I don't know how it is for everybody, but sometimes you can't just be rocked out of your sleep. You have to come into a gentle ease back into your body, because the way that we're dreaming, we're really becoming more one with our travels. Let's say our astral travels. It's not just a dream world anymore. We're literally just checking out for a moment to check into that astral body aspect of us, and we're becoming more intertwined with it. That's why I feel it's more lucid, um, and more real, so surreal. So coming back, it's not just coming from a faraway place. It's like readjusting. It's like, the best way I could explain it is like coming from out of, the bright light outside, and then coming inside, and your pupils need to adjust. It's kind of like that. It's like you're just coming from outside to inside, and something needs to adjust. You have to kind of take some time for some adjustment, some astral adjustment, right? We need to talk about these things more. Who needs to have some astral adjustments as they're waking up? And that could be, causing some of the headaches. So just drink some water, drink some tea when you get up. First thing, you might want to have some lime water. Lime and hot water, or lemon and hot water is really good as well. I have you acclimating these frequencies, and clearing your what is the word that I'm looking for right now? But let's just say calibrating. I can't think of the word right now. These are some things that are happening that I want us to look out for. These calibrating timelines, as we are shifting into our new timelines, we are releasing. So allow yourself. We have to allow ourselves to be receptive, so we can allow the release. Some may not even know what they're releasing or what to release, and some things are coming up for you to release, but we must be willing to pay attention to it rather than push it away. Face it, allow it to come up, listen to it, listen to your soul, listen to how the thoughts and feelings that are coming up, and then identify these thoughts and feelings, right? Don't just let them take you in a whirlwind, but listen to them, pay attention to them, and then validate them if needs be. Remove them if they don't need to be there. Put it up under the principles of truth, right? Under the understanding, standing under the umbrella of these principles of truth. Make sure you're putting it against that truth, not against, I shouldn't say against, with the truth, so that you can see if this holds any truth, right? Those thoughts and feelings, we have to be willing to put these thoughts and feelings in check under the principles of truth. And these are things that we're looking at in the workshop. It's very interactive, and it's going to help us get in real deep. So with that said, let me cross over to some of the numbers. The numbers were very interesting today, being the 6-6 portal. And you might want to write this down as I go through it, because the numbers may twist and turn. But get this. There is the 6, the 6, and the 9. And of course, within that, those are three numbers, 6, 6, and 9. So there's the 3 for those of you who are saying, well, where's the 3? The 3 is always in the 6 and the 9. So that's another part of it. When you add up the date of today, it is a 3. It is a 21, and it is a 3. So there goes the 3 again. And as well as the 5D, this is a 3D date. If you look, if you go according to the 5D date, for those of you who might have still been following along, even though you haven't gotten the calendars, if you're still following along from the last day of the last calendar and just marking the date, you may realize that today on the 5D calendar is also a code 3. It's also a 21 code 3. So they're both 21, 21 code 3. So we have a 3 and a 3 right there. So the bridge number, the bridge between the 3D and 5D is a 3. So we're seeing this 369, and when you look at how many threes are within it all, get this, I can't make this up. And when I say within it all, I'm counting the 6, the 9, and then the threes of the 3D day and the 5D day, those 2 threes. So within the 6, there's 2. 3, 3. Within the other 6 is another 2. 3, 3. Within the 9, 1, 2, 3. And then the other 2 threes, 3 and 3. I can't make that up. That's 9 threes altogether when I look at the interaction of 9s, right? And this is why I got to speak about the 9. When I look at the interaction of threes, it is 9 of them. How many threes are within all of this? All the numbers, the 3, the 6, the 6, the 9, and then counting what those code days are for 3D and 5D. All of that is 3 9s. Sorry, 9 3. Am I saying that right? All of that together is 9 3s. You count it up. You do, write out your date, look at it for yourself, and you'll see it, right? And then get this. There's a 6-6 portal because we have the 6 and the 6, but here's where a third 6 shows up. That 3 from the 3D and that 3 from the 5D, 3 and 3, when you bridge them and put them together, is a 6. The bridge number for those 2 days is a 6. So you have the 6 6 and you have that bridge number as a 6. So there's another 6. So there's a trifecta of 6, if you will. 6 6 6. The trinity of 6, however you want to look at it. This is for my numerology people, right? For those who are not into numbers, you're probably like, what? That's okay. I was the same way. But once you get into the divination of numerology, it's everywhere, right? Numbers, which is considered math, is the formulas, it's life, it's everywhere. We're breathing in these codes, right? So with that said, this being a day 3, not only, going back to looking at the day, so yes, when you count up the date itself, it's a 3. Also, when you look at the first set of 9,